Hello everyone. I know this video isn't like the ones I usually do where I show my face, but I want this video to be an audio video. You do not need to visually be watching this video, you just need to listen to it. You can go for a walk, you can listen to it in your car, you can listen to it while you're cleaning your house, it does not matter. It's what you need to listen to that's important here. Share this video as much as possible because it's going to tell you exactly what the Illuminati plan to do with this coronavirus moving forward, and it's also going to explain the steps that they took in the beginning, and this will explain everything that you need to know, and it's extremely important video. It's probably going to be the last video I make on the coronavirus. So let's get started. Now, I've warned about the coronavirus global pandemic back in 2018. I said it would happen at the end of 2019, early 2020, and that we'll have an economic crash because of it, and that the Illuminati plan to use this virus as a forced way to chip everyone, and that's exactly what's happening. So let's get into the beginning. The coronavirus was naturally found in bats, and when scientists were studying it, they were questioning why it couldn't transmit into human beings. The Bill Gates Foundation and their science team decided to take over the project, and they found a way to transfer the coronavirus from bats to humans. Not only that, but they engineered two different strains, strain 1 and strain 2. Just let's make it easier for you guys to remember. Strain 1 is a one that you currently see today, where it just gives you flu-like symptoms, and it does kill people that have heavily weakened immune systems, the same way that the common flu that kills 40,000 Americans every year kills people with weak immune systems. Now, the second strain is one that I will discuss later, and it's far more deadly and far more vile. Now, the plan for the coronavirus is an actual printed out, written out plan that the Illuminati have themselves. It's a scripted plan that says exactly what the media is going to say, exactly what the hospitals are going to say and do, exactly what, politicians are going to say and do. And I have access to this script, and I'm going to tell you guys what's their plan, even though I knew it from the beginning. But when you have a script, it's a lot easier to read for a video. So let's read it. The plan was to have the two strains made in a lab in Canada. From there, it will be shipped to a Wuhan facility in China, which, by the way, Bill Gates owns both of these facilities. And it would then be released onto a wet market in Wuhan, China. The reason why they chose a wet market is because there's a lot of open vents where air is constantly spreading through, and there's a very highly populated area, so it's very easy to get people sick. Also, viruses and diseases that come from China, because the population is so high, it's not unheard of, which makes it a lot more easier for people around the world to believe. The plan here says to tell Dr. Fauci, the WHO, which is the World Health Organization, and the CDC to manipulate and stir society into the direction for their plan. This explains why in the beginning of the coronavirus outbreak, in the early of 2020, the beginning, I warned everyone about it and to take it very seriously. But the World Health Organization, also known as WHO, the CDC, and Dr. Fauci told society that the virus was not a big deal and that there's nothing to be worried about. The plan on the Illuminati script literally says to tell the WHO, CDC, and Dr. Fauci to downplay the virus as much as possible to allow it to spread around the globe. They wanted the virus to spread. Hence why governments, especially America, closed their borders very late. The script then says for news media to say that this virus was natural and that it just came from bats. And if that was denied or society did not believe it enough, to tell them that it was actually a mistake from China and released by accident. I said that this was going to happen. On Twitter, when they blamed it on bats, I immediately went and told everyone that that is a lie. And the next thing they're going to tell you guys next week is that it actually was a mistake from a Wuhan facility in China. And that's exactly what they did. The script for the hospitals was to label any illness to COVID-19 in regards to deaths. So if you had died from the cold, the flu, asthma, any lung problems, any breathing natural issues, if you died from old age, they labeled it as COVID-19 so that they can artificially increase the statistics of how many humans have died so that they can keep fear-mongering society. The script for the economy was to keep everything closed and locked down for as long as possible to cause irreversible damage to the economy. They fully expect that this will include mass riots, civil unrest, and eventually food shortages. This virus isn't just a virus on humans, it's a virus on the global economy as well. They want to purposely destroy the world economy to bring in their one world digital currency. The script for the pharmaceutical industry was for the media to downplay or shun any type of treatment that may come out from anyone around the world that combats viruses, so that the only cure that can possibly exist is the vaccine that will eventually be forced on everyone. This is why when Trump mentioned hydroxychloroquine, whatever that damn drug is called, the entire news media instantly attacked him every single hour and every single day, because this drug goes against their mission to vaccinate everyone. They don't want any quote-unquote cures coming out. They want everyone to take the forced vaccination. The next step is to put everyone on lockdown until around June or July of 2020, which is how long psychologists say humans will last indoors before they stop caring anymore and eventually go outside regardless of what the threat is. The reason why this is interesting is because it came out to be true. In the beginning of this year, everyone remained inside. But once summer came, people got tired of remaining inside. They said, screw the coronavirus, I'm going to go out, I'm tired of oppressing myself. And that's exactly what the government said would happen. The next step is to remove the lockdown in phases. Allow society to go outside during the summer. I'll open up gyms, open up theme parks, open up salons, open up recreational activities. Wait a few weeks until around September, and which then they will move into phase 2 and say that millions of people suddenly got coronavirus and millions of people are suddenly dying. This will cause people to panic and run back into their houses asking for more lockdowns even though they just got out. This is the beginning of phase 2. So, to recap, everything that's happened until now has been phase 1. We are currently at the end of phase 1. Once September 1st comes, phase 2 of the government coronavirus plan will be activated. And that's when the media and the news will come out saying that millions of people are dying from coronavirus, even though in reality, no one's actually dying from coronavirus. They will tell everyone that everyone is dropping dead like flies. Now, phase 2 will last from September until the end of November. The media will come in full force with coronavirus fear-mongering. They will highly exaggerate the number of deaths. Now, in phase 1, they did not exaggerate deaths. They were just exaggerating cases. They were telling people 5,000 people got it, 10,000 new cases, 50,000 new cases. But if you notice, they never mentioned deaths because there aren't any. But during phase 2, they will swap the narrative. They will tell society that 50,000 people just died. Instead of 50,000 people have the coronavirus, they're going to say 50,000 people just died from coronavirus. And even though it's not true, people will eventually believe it. On the script, it says that the Illuminati fully expect that conflicting reports are going to emerge, meaning maybe people that work in hospitals are going to notice that hospitals are actually empty and that no one's actually dying, and they're going to start leaking this information. And that well-known conspiracy theorists will also come out in full force exposing the plan and the coronavirus for the deceits and the misinformation. It's actually hilarious that the script says this because they're basically admitting to their own bullshit. It's also funny because well-known conspiracy theorists, you basically might as well tag me in the script, might as well put my YouTube channel link in it. The next thing says that they also expect protest and civil unrest in regards to the truth on the virus and the extended lockdown, as more and more people wake up to the idea that this lockdown might not be truly what it's for and that this virus might have been planned by world governments. To combat this, the media will be told to tell society that these anti-government protesters that are gathering is actually the reason why the virus is spreading, causing all of these artificial quote-unquote deaths. This will cause mass disruption, chaos, and discord among civilians with each other, making society basically police themselves, fight themselves, because if they are fighting each other, that means that they are not fighting and focusing on the corrupted government that is oppressing them. They will blame the quote-unquote second wave of the coronavirus on society and saying that it's all your fault that this happened. It's your fault. You wanted to go to the gym. That's why the virus was spread. You wanted to go get your hair cut. That's why the virus spread. You wanted the lockdown lifted. You decided to protest Black Lives Matter. You decided to protest that the anti-government, propaganda. You're the one that protested. You're the reason why all of these people died. They're going to make society blame themselves instead of blaming the government. And unfortunately, a lot of people are going to fall for this, which is why I always call humans idiots. The next step is to create a much harsher and longer lockdown at the start of November. This lockdown will last at least 6 months, probably well into mid-2021, so we're talking around spring to summer 2021. They will then label everyone that steps outside during that time for non-essential reasons as a criminal and an enemy of the state, and they will be thrown in jail. This will heavily dwindle any amount of possible protesting that may occur for anti-government reasons or anti-lockdown reasons. So they already have this plan. Like, they already know how society is going to react. They already know there's going to be people that don't believe in the coronavirus, that don't want to be locked inside their houses anymore, and they are fully equipped to know how to handle these situations. And they're basically going to just turn society against each other. This is not a new tactic. This was used by Hitler, and this was used by many corrupt emperors in ancient Rome. After this, they will bring in the military and create checkpoints around states and nations. This will prevent anyone from traveling, whether it's by plane, boat, or car, and they will dictate all traveling as banned, as for security reasons, quote unquote, to prevent the coronavirus from spreading. Because of this now extended lockdown that has gone well into 2021, the global economy will crash in a way that society has never witnessed before, causing mass food shortages and chaos and civil unrest. The next script says to label all well-known conspiracy theorists trying to expose this plan as an enemy of the state, placing them in jail and allowing neighbors to actually rat on other neighbors who may feel that they are also conspiracy theorists. Basically, like I said, society is going to start policing themselves. You might have family members or friends actually ratting on each other, calling the police, saying that someone is a conspiracy theorist and doesn't want to get vaccinated. The next step after this extended lockdown, so right now the time frame is probably summer of 2021, is to release the forced vaccination. The media would then go on an attacking onslaught, going after anyone that opposes the vaccination, calling them an enemy of the people, and stating that these anti-vaxxers or these anti-government protesters are a threat to society. This is now, once again, turning society against each other. Anyone who does not take the vaccine will not be able to return, quote-unquote, back to normal. They will not be able to go to work, school, travel, go to the doctors, go for a hair appointment, go to the hospital, or anything from the above. No recreational activities. You can't go to a museum. You can't go to a theme park. Nothing. Now, here's where things get scary. This is the part that I did not want to tell you guys honestly. I don't want their fear tactics manipulating society into being submissive, but I feel that if I don't give you the truth, then what's the point of this? We are now moving into phase 3, which is what I was referring to 2 seconds earlier, where I did not want to discuss. It says here on the script that phase 3 is completely optional, meaning whether it happens or not depends on the following criteria. If a large portion of the majority of people do not comply to the forced vaccination, release the second strain of the coronavirus, which destroys the lungs of the victim, destroys the immune system of the victim, and has an over 40% mortality rate, meaning you have an over 40% chance of dying. The purpose of this disgusting action is to push the minority, the anti-corrupt government protesters, and even the conspiracy theorists into submission and taking the vaccine out of fear of dying. Hopefully it doesn't get to there, but if it does, unfortunately, you guys know that they're the ones that caused it. The final step. Release the Bill Gates digital currency 666 system. It literally says 666 system. This is a social credit score system that will send people money credits for quote-unquote good behavior. These credits will be earned for obeying the government and law enforcement, aka taking vaccinations, speaking good about the government, etc. These credits can be used on essentials like food, water, and better housing. Having a higher social score can also get you a better job, or even a better house. This is basically the social credit score system that I warned you guys about, that I made multiple videos on. The social credit score is also happening in China, and it's extremely oppressive. If you were to, basically everyone has their own social score attached to their identity. If you speak about the government, your score drops. If your score drops below a certain threshold, you are no longer able to travel. You can't even apply for jobs. You can't even rent out a hotel room. The people who go against the establishment will have their social credit scores lowered, preventing them from accessing basic needs and other luxury items such as better housing, traveling, food, etc. The entire purpose of this virus is to destroy the economy, have everyone chipped, and basically force you all into submission. And submission in a way that you guys have never witnessed before in your lives. Submission in a way like an episode of Black Mirror, where you were never able to say anything. You cannot say anything bad about the government. You cannot expose them. You cannot do anything. And you either comply or you starve to death. This is what their plan is. Unfortunately, it's going as they planned. but that doesn't mean it has to be. And there's always opposing forces trying to combat this and make sure that it doesn't happen. Let's just hope we win this time. Thank you guys so much for listening, and I hope you have a great day, as depressing as this video was. Love you all so much, and stay safe. Bye.